instantaneous situation that I've never actually read before. The affair of Michael Flynn already reviews its accusations from the Russian interference. That's really the reason why this has been brought to justice immediately following from the 2016 election, as the whole procedure is under probe because of the accusation concerning the Russian interference during the 2016 election, defended by the American intelligence community. However, Donald Trump has always denied that this interference in favor of Donald Trump had already pushed the Barack Obama's administration away at the end of his term, especially at the end of his second term, to adopt the symbolic sanctions against Moscow, materialized and substantiated by the expulsion of Russian diplomats out of the United States. So this interference, in favor of Donald Trump had been construed as a punishment against the Obama administration's penalty, which eventually kicked out diplomats in the United States out of the soil. Those, higher ranking Russian and foreign ministry officials, including the ambassador, they're all expelled out of the United States. So if I ever actually go back to the original sentence, this interference in favor of Donald Trump had been pushed against the Barack Obama administration, especially during the last week of his term, to adopt the symbolic sanction against Moscow, substantiated by the expulsion and the removal of Russian diplomats. This is really the case. This has been actually intended to punish the Obama administration, especially during the last week of his term, to adopt the symbolic sanction against Moscow, materialized by the expulsion of diplomats. But it has been written in that way, but actually, that had been taken place to evict Russian diplomats. The former general nominated to his post as a national security advisor had been forced to resign only 3 weeks after his official installation to assume his business, after the confirmation in February 2017, for having lied to Vice President Mike Pence concerning his contacts with the Russian ambassador in Washington. He was suspected to have incited Moscow to react with the moderation about expulsions. Michael Flynn had also equally lied to FBI agents dispatched for the investigation to interrogate him. The Department of Justice estimates that these interrogation was deprived of the legitimacy by being dishonest and deceitful, to be lack of legitimate clauses. That's what has been said. I'm really